I'll tell you who likes Brenton Strange. Big fan of Brenton Strange. Denny Carter.
Unsurprising.
Yes, a very good fit. Who joins us every Friday. Let's hit the Denny music.
So we want to counter this horrible, deceitful, untrue narrative that's going around that Woody Johnson, quote, doesn't know what he's doing and, quote, has no business managing a football team.
Quote, has the impulse control of a 4-year-old.
If you're looking at the analytics, Woody Johnson was correct. And you will start here with, the signing of Aaron Rodgers 2 off seasons ago. And people would say, well, that's the downfall of the current iteration of the Jets. Last I checked, which was about 7 minutes ago, on the Madden rating online, last I checked, our guy Aaron Rodgers has a 77 Madden rating, and you know who that's better than? It's better than, I don't know, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. Ever heard of them? The rookie quarterbacks for this year. So who won in the end? Aaron Rodgers won, the Jets won. Woody, again, did nothing wrong.
What the mainstream media doesn't want you to know, the last man standing defending Woody Johnson on this great planet Earth.
The mainstream media does not want you to know what a great man Woody Johnson is, but you're
brave.
uncovering it.
You're brave, Denny.
Somebody's got to do it. It's not fair. Connor, are you with me? Did Woody do anything wrong?
I think I'm finally out.
Finally.
Yes. After 33 years. It's, I don't know.
I tried, man.
Yeah, who would you rather have as an owner of your, now that Snyder is gone, who would you rather have as an owner of your professional football team? Woody Johnson or David Tepper?
Tepper.
Tepper. That's got to be Tepper.
Yes.
He spends and tries. He just doesn't do a great job with it. But
Yeah. Wow. What a comeback for
Panthers made the
Tepper.
Super Bowl somewhat recently.
yeah, but he wasn't the owner then.
I know,
Yeah.
but still.
And this is Ron Rivera, a favorite of this show.
Exactly.
I have
They
to say,
deserve
guys,
each other.
the triumph thing, by the way, this is a generational gap, a generational war between me and Matthew versus Jay and Connor,
Yeah,
okay?
old versus young.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't know. You guys are born. Are you Zoomers? I think you're Zoomers, right?
I don't know. I just know that you guys are on the way
Okay.
out, and me and
Well,
Connor are leading the charge for the new generation. So
I'm an
an
elderly millennial. I think Barry's a Gen Xer, right? So
Yeah.
we know these things, right? Robert Smigel, great cartoons on SNL for years, right?
For years.
And you guys don't. So this is a generational gap, and I'm sorry to see it.
Yeah,
We're fine with that, by the way.
But don't you think, Denny? Don't you think these young kids today they should learn from the people that came before them? That like exactly. If it wasn't for the path blazed by a rubber puppet dog, the two of you wouldn't be sitting here today.
You know where you started to lose me? I just want to be honest. I was actually into it until Pete joined forces with you.
Yeah.
And then we were out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
that's
I'm going to go
fine.
home
It's not
tonight.
you guys.
Yeah.
It's your allies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or ally.
Wow.
No, I respect what you. I'm going to go home tonight, watch Casablanca, Citizen Kane,
Citizen
the
Kane,
comic,
nice.
the you insult the dog, whatever.
And by the way,
It'd
I'm
be
not
great. Catch up on
59,
history.
Jay. I'm 41.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
take
Sure.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Still old.
Oh, man. Anyway, Denny, before any of you reveal the players that the networks are once again ruthlessly
from us.
hiding from us, we've had enough of it. What did you think about the free kick last night? I feel like you were probably the second in command of the happiest man besides Harbaugh.
I was standing up for it. I actually stood up off the couch and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. This is what we've been waiting for literally 50, it's been 50 years since this has happened in the NFL. I know Jim Harbaugh said he was waiting for it. I have been too. I actually think we need to have no pass or no rush at the kicker if they're going to attempt a kick of, say, 70 plus yards. I think that would bring a level of excitement to the game for me that's not there right now.
Yeah, I think it's also been 50 years since a man wore a black long sleeve shirt under a maroon t-shirt.
That's a
also-
grunge era.
That's
It's
quite
the
This is
90s.
what, this is what we used to wear in the early 2000s.
unbelievable. Yeah, that's when comic was really surging back then.
It was the peak of triumph.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Denny, tell me.
All right, Denny. Yeah, listen. You've been on the dark web. You've scoured the internets. You watch all the major news networks, and yet there's things that they try to keep from us. The mainstream media tries to hide true information from us. What can you let us know about this week?
Yeah, there's a guy on the Cowboys no one talks about, Brandin Cooks. Okay, I just discovered him the other day doing some research. Brandin Cooks has 2 touchdowns over his past 3 games. Didn't hear about that anywhere. He matches up against a Tampa secondary, a Tampa defense that ranks as the most extreme pass funnel defense in the league. You can read more about that on my funnel defense report on RotoWorld. And this game features the highest total of the week, this Cowboys-Bucks game. So I think Brandin Cooks is a possible flex if you're kind of desperate.
Look, 2 of the last 3, and he's returned from the IR in 3 games, and in 2 of those 3 games, he's had at least an 18% target share. He's gotten 3 end zone targets, to your point, Denny, about the scoring. And yeah, it is a nice matchup against Tampa Bay, who struggles in the secondary. Cooper Rush looked better last week. So again, as a desperation streamer, I could sort of buy it. And you're absolutely right. No one in the mainstream media, they're keeping Brandin Cooks from us.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, they won't talk about him. Absolutely not. They don't want us to know.
Yeah. Denny,
right.
I like that as a company man, you're loading up on featured human beings in Sunday Night Football. So tell me about Jalen McMillan, who has not been much covered. I think a lot of people moved on. The mainstream media moved on from the Bucks after Chris Godwin went down. But what can you tell us about Jalen McMillan?
Well, yeah, I think they moved on, Jay, because when asked about Jalen McMillan, all of the Bucks coaches said, I had never heard of him. Don't know the kid. But he has actually emerged over the past couple weeks. He has 134 yards and 3 touchdowns over the past 2 games in the Bucks offense, the pass first Bucks offense, I should say. In week 15, he ran a route on 26 of 30 dropbacks, which is a pretty solid rate. Had a 23% target share. The Bucks have an implied total of 26.5 here. This is going to be a shootout on the only legitimate network, NBC, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think McMillan could see some trickle-down benefits from a pass-heavy script here.
I watched an entire week of CNBC straight and Bravo. Jalen McMillan not mentioned on either network at all.
No, not a mention.
Not a mention.
You
Not
know
on
he's
USA,
rostered.
not on Sci-Fi, not on E. Maybe on Telemundo, I don't know. Again, I got a gentleman's seat from Senora Worley.
Denny, our next name here, I understand. I was one of 9 people watching Jets-Jags last week as part of my work at SNY.
The other rated dead, by the way. The other rated dead.
The only network that's talking about Brenton Strange was SNY because he's the latest slot merchant we have in the NFL. But unfortunately, we're just a local New York news network. We can't get the same kind of pub that these big networks get. What are you seeing in Brenton Strange?
I'm glad you are fighting the good fight, Connor, because
Local
Brenton
news.
Strange, the second most receptions in the entire NFL in Week 15. I'm not hearing about this anywhere. I hired social media interns to look through the coverage in all major newspapers. Not one mention of Brenton Strange, but he's in play as the main slot guy. Think of him as a slot receiver, and it might go down a little better this week. He ran the most slot routes for Jacksonville last week. I think the fact that the Jags' defense is so bad that they might actually just have to keep throwing and run their offense at a fast pace like they did last week. And I think that fuels volume for a guy like Brenton Strange. Can I also tell you something just totally sick, but I love it? 4.5 air yards per target for Brenton Strange last week. Now, you might say, oh, that's gross. No, that's beautiful. That's perfect. This is what we want. We just want PPR, scam, check down stuff from Mac Jones. Give me that all day. Brenton Strange, don't dump him if you had him last week. Keep him rolling.
Since week 7, Denny, no one talks about this either. Las Vegas is allowing the most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. This game is in Las Vegas on the turf. Brenton Strange has had 5 games this year with 4 more targets. He's averaging over 12 fantasy points per game in those games as well. So I am with you. If you need a tight end streamer this week.
Or a stranger.
Yeah, no. If you
get
need a
both in
tight
one.
end streamer, get yourself some Strange. Go
Yes.
get yourself some Strange.
Yes. People, before the season, they drafted Jonathan Taylor and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, thinking these would be the men in the
No.
fantasy playoffs. But no, it's Brenton Strange and Stone
It's
Smartt
Strange.
who define this.
Strange season.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like seriously, open up like the Washington Post. You won't see Brenton Strange anywhere in
No.
there.
There are also
on the back
rumors
pages.
that he will get to add an E to his last name if he scores a touchdown, much like Stone Smart gets to keep adding T's to his name if he
Another
scores
E?
touchdowns.
We'll see if it can happen. Denny, thank you as always for joining us and enlightening us. More importantly,
Yes.
enlightening the people,
Where should
especially
people-
during this time of year.
Where should people follow you? Are they following you? Are you still posting on X? Or are you just Mr. Blue Sky now? All this you're killing it over on Blue Sky. I learned.
I'm on the Sky, and then you can check me out on the Roto World Football Show, and all my work is on Roto World, including the Funnel Defense Report.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.